Good morning, everyone. Today is session 6. We are going to discuss in the subject digital electronics, and today's topic is shift register. So we are going to discuss about the shift register. So before moving into the shift register, we will see some of the points what we discussed in the yesterday's class. I hope you all can able to remember what are all the topics we discussed in the yesterday's class. Yes, from for the past 1 week, what are all the topics we are discussing in the previous session in the digital electronics subject. Yes. So we discussed like logic gates, combinational circuit. We discussed so many applications of combinational circuit, that is half adder, full adder, magnitude comparator, encoder, decoder, all those topics we discussed. And then for the last 3 sessions, we were in the sequential circuits, discussing about the sequential circuit. So difference between combinational and sequential is combinational circuit won't be having any memory. Sequential circuit will be there with a memory unit. So that is the main difference. And in sequential circuit, who are all the basic building blocks? Yes, latch and then flip-flop is the basic building block in the sequential circuit. And yesterday we started counter. We discussed asynchronous counter, but because of due to time bound, we could not able to discuss the synchronous counter. So today we will see about the synchronous counter and also finish the topic shift register. Yes. So say counter is also from the sequential circuit. So counter is also having a memory element. So how to build a counter? A counter is built using the flip-flops. Basic element, that is flip-flop, a counter is built. So we discussed synchronous counter and we discussed asynchronous counter, and synchronous counter is about to discuss. So synchronous counter, we have around different types we have, like we discussed the asynchronous counter, that is you can able to design the 2-bit, 3-bit and as well as 4-bit. So if you want to design for 2-bit, the number of flip-flop required is also 2. If you want to design for 4-bit, the number of flip-flops required to design is also 4-bit. So here I have again shown the difference between the synchronous counter and asynchronous counter. So in synchronous counter, all the flip-flop will be applied clock. In asynchronous counter, clock will only be applied for the first flip-flop. So that we have seen in the yesterday session itself. Only the first flip-flop was getting the clock, not all the flip-flop. So synchronous means it's like syncing our all the contacts present in our email account, contacts present in our phone. So once if you sync all your contact, wherever you go, you can access all the contacts using any device. Like if you are using tablet, you can access the contact. If you are using mobile phone or if you are using the desktop, so whatever might be the device, you can access all the contacts and everything is synced. Yes, that is the meaning of synchronization. So here how to sync, we can sync using clock pulse, we can sync here. See, it's a 2-bit synchronous counter. So first we will see how to construct this. So again here the flip-flop, basic flip-flop taken is J and K flip-flop. Yes. So I tie J and K together. So if you tie J and K, how it comes? It is a T flip-flop. If you tie J and K, if you tie J and K together, you will get like T flip-flop, and T I'm connecting to 1. So I hope you remember what is T flip-flop. ST is the toggle flip-flop. So when input is 1, the output started to toggle 0, 1, 0, 1 like that. The output started to toggle. So it is same. The input section is the same. See here my output section in the asynchronous part. I have taken the output and I have connected to the clock in asynchronous. But here the output is connected to the input of the next flip-flop. Yes, the output part is connected to the input of the next flip-flop. And now coming to the clock section. So I take a common clock and I connect the clock to all the flip-flop. I take a common clock, I connect the clock to all the flip-flop. So in asynchronous, you can connect the clock only to the first flip-flop. But here, you can connect the clock to all the flip-flops. Yes, got it? So this is, we have one here. So input is what? Input is 1, and this flip-flop will start to toggle 1 and 0. Yes? See here, we have a synchronous counter. In synchronous counter, so the sequence the sequence we have here is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and then 1, 1. Students, the medium of instruction marked in the portal is English. So I can't talk in Kannada or Hindi. I'll give the instruction in English itself. Yes. So I feel the English is not so difficult. I'm delivering in a very simple English only. I hope you all can follow my simple English. Even so many Kannada students are joined here. So I'll continue in English itself. Okay, here it starts like for the first clock pulse, we know the counting 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and then 1, 1. So once if you come to 1, 1, again the counter will goes back to 0, 0. Yes, again it starts as same counting process. And we know the timing diagram. Yesterday we discussed this timing diagram. Yes. So for the first clock pulse, initially it was 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, and then 1, 1. And this is for the 3-bit synchronous counter. So you know how to write this 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. So yesterday we have seen that with the help of a weight. We have connected a weight here, so that is 8421 weight. So based on the weight, you have to change its state. So how the state will change? All zeros, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So it will rise, the loop will go accordingly. And here the same thing written in the tabulation. So how in the synchronous counter, all the flip-flops will get the clock at the same time, isn't it? And so here this is my very LSB flip-flop, and this is the next flip-flop, and this is the MSB flip-flop. See, up to this portion, here it is 0. Okay, so when we come to the state of 1, 1, then these two 1 making the next state of this Q2 to 1. When these two states are 1, this third flip-flop will go to on state. Yes, that is the logic here. We will see the logic diagram for this. Okay, I have 3 flip-flop. J and K are tied, J and K are tied, J and K are tied. So J and K is applied with one input. The output of first flip-flop is connected to the J and K of second flip-flop. And for the third flip-flop, I have introduced a logic. So what is that logic? I have taken output from the second flip-flop and output from first flip-flop, and this is connected to a AND gate. So what is the truth table of AND gate? When both the inputs are 1, the output of AND gate will also be 1. So both the inputs should be 1. So when both the input will be 1, in state number 3, both the inputs will be 1. If these two are 1, then the third flip-flop will get 1 in its input. 1 in its input. So this flip-flop will start to give 1 output. See? So after this state, the flip-flop has started to give 1 output here. You can see here. And the clock is applied to all the flip-flops simultaneously. The clock is applied to all the flip-flops simultaneously. Yes, the logic is very simple. So for the 2-bit counter, there is no change at all. Just apply the clock to all the flip-flop and connect J and K together and tie that to 1. Here, we need to introduce a logic. When these two are 1, put it into that AND gate and make that to 1, so that will be connected to the next flip-flop. So this is for the 3-bit synchronous counter. And what we have here, we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, that is 1, 0, 1, 0, that is 2, 0, 1, 1, that is 3. So similarly, we have up to the last one. That is all ones, 1, 1, 1, all ones we have. So next we will move to the 4-bit synchronous counter. So before seeing the detail about the design of the synchronous counter, we will see the counting sequence. Yes. So how the counting sequence is, whenever QA and QB is 1, 1, then it is connected to the third flip-flop. Whenever all the 3 flip-flops are giving 1, 1, 1, that is connected to the fourth flip-flop. So how many AND gates is required? 1 is required here and 1 AND gate is required here. 2 AND gates are required. See, J and K are connected to 1 and then Q is connected to again J and K, and Q is again the Q of second flip-flop is connected to the this point, and as well as that is QB is connected here and as well as QA is connected. So when here you get 1, 1, you will get 1 here, that is connected to the J. And what about here? Here QC, QB and then QA. All these are connected to the AND gate. And if all the 3 inputs are 1, the output will be 1. So when all the 3 inputs will be 1, when you have 1, 1, 1, when you have the state of 7, all the gates will be, all the inputs of all the flip-flops will be releasing the output of 1. Only in this state it will be releasing. So we discussed like different synchronous counters we have discussed. So I'll one more time I'll repeat the logic of synchronous counter and asynchronous counters. So in synchronous counter, the clock will be applied to all the flip-flop, yes, in a same time. In asynchronous counter, the clock will only be applied to the first flip-flop, yes, that is the only difference between synchronous counter and asynchronous counter. So with this, that's all about the synchronous and asynchronous counter. We will move to the shift register. So what is the register here? The the register is used to store some data, that is the register. So this register is used to store 1 bit of data. Ma, one more session may be planned to discuss the same topic in Hindi. But this session we have to go with English only. Yes, the medium of instruction given is English. So I'll be go in the English itself. If required, one more session can be planned to do the same topic in Hindi. See, this is register. A register can able to store the data. So here, which is the basic element in the sequential circuit? We have a flip-flop as a basic element. So one flip-flop can able to store 1 bit data. If I want to store 4-bit data, I need 4 flip-flop. If I want to store 1 byte of data, so 1 byte is equal to 8-bit. 1 byte is equal to 8-bit. So to store 8-bit of data, I need 8 flip-flops in sequence. And the shift register is, see, all these are my flip-flops. All these are my flip-flops. I'm going to shift the data from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. So I'm going to shift this data like this. See, the data are shifting one by one. So what is shift register? The shift register is another type of sequential logic circuit. Shift register is a cascade of flip-flop. Cascade of flip-flop is one after the other. The flip-flops are connected one after the other. And flip-flops are sharing the common clock. See, it is used for the storage or transfer of binary data. You can able to transfer or shift the binary data from here to there, there to here. Flip-flops can store a single bit of binary data, and to store multiple bits, we need multiple flip-flops. And n flip-flops to store n bits. If I want to store 10 bits, how many flip-flops I need? I need 10 flip-flop. So a register is a device which is used to store the information. So we have different types of shift registers available. So those are SISO, SIPO, PIPO, PISO. So here SISO is serial input, serial output. So I'll send the data one by one and I'll take out the data one by one. See, all these blocks are one flip-flop. So this is one flip-flop. So totally how many flip-flop I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Totally I have 4 flip-flops here. So one flip-flop can able to store 1 bit. One flip-flop can able to store 1 bit, and totally I have 4 flip-flops here. So I'm sending the data one by one. So if you stand in a queue, They'll send you one by one. If you stand in a railway station queue, you go and collect the ticket one by one. So that is serial input, serial output. Serial input, parallel output. See, I am sending the data one by one, but all the data are coming out in the same time. All the data are coming out in the same time. That is serial input, parallel output. Parallel input, parallel output. See, for railway station, for example, I have 4 different counters are available. So people are standing in the 4 different counters. So parallelly they can go and parallelly they can come out. In the same time they all the 4 can go, and in the same time all the 4 can come back. So that is parallel input and parallel output. Then last one is parallel input, serial output. So parallel input is all the 4 can go at the same time, but one by one they have to come out. One by one they have to come out. So serial input means one by one you have to feed. Serial output means one by one it will come out. Parallel input means at the same time you will give the input, and parallel output means at the same time you will get the output. So these are the very famous as well as the simple logic of shift register. So what is shift register? The detail is given here. So shift register, we have serial in and then serial out, serial in, parallel out, parallel in, serial out, and then parallel in, parallel out. All the 4 types is given here. And then along with the one more is universal shift register. Universal means it can able to do all the things. One logic diagram can able to do all the things. That is the universal one. And direction. So how I want to shift? I can shift from this side to this side, or else I can shift from right side to left side. So we have left shift, we have right shift, and also we have rotate. I can rotate the data. If I give a feedback, I can rotate my input all time. Yes. Bidirectional. Bidirection means both the direction I can do my shifting, right to left and left to right. Both the directions I can shift it. So we discussed 4 different types of flip-flops. I hope you all can remember that. So what are they? They are S-OR flip-flop, JK flip-flop, T flip-flop, and then D flip-flop. These are the 4 flip-flops we discussed. So to design a T flip-flop, we connected J and K together and we got the T flip-flop, that is toggle flip-flop. And the famous flip-flop used for shift register is D flip-flop. D flip-flops, someone questioned like what is D flip-flop? D flip-flop, you can call it as data flip-flop, or else you can also call it as delay flip-flop. D flip-flop is data flip-flop or delay flip-flop. So what I give in the input, I'll get in the output. If my input is 1, my output is also 1. If my input is 0, the output is also 0. But it is based on the clock pulse. It is based on the clock pulse. So the basic element for shift register is D flip-flop. Yes. So what and all I can do in the shift register? I can do serial in, serial out. So how many flip-flops are there? 4 flip-flops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 flip-flops are there. So I can able to store 4 bits here. And datas are moving in serial in and datas are coming out serial out. So this is left to right. And this is called as shift right, moving rightwards. Shifting is rightwards. So it is shift right. Here I am moving leftwards. So it is shift left. Yes, I am moving in this direction. This is parallel input but serial output. This is serial input but parallel output. Here parallel in, parallel out. Here I am rotating it in the right direction. Here I am rotating it in the left direction. So these are the different movements, different data movements. I can do it here. So SISO is shown in detail. So I have taken four flip-flops. Which flip-flop it is? All are D flip-flop. And how to connect the flip-flop? Give the serial input to the first flip-flop. Give the serial input to the first flip-flop. Output is connected to the input of the next. Output is connected to the input of the next. Output is connected to the input of the next. Yes, do it like this. And here I apply a common clock to all the flip-flop. A common clock is applied to all the flip-flop here. Input is applied only to the first flip-flop. So what happens? The clock is connected to all the flip-flops simultaneously. So at each clock, what is my data applied? My data applied is 1010. That is the data applied. So what happens? When I apply the first clock, the one comes here. When I apply the second clock, this one jumps here. When I apply the third clock, the one will jump here. Fourth clock, the one will come out of here. Yes. Similarly, the data will move jump from one place to the other place each time if you apply a clock pulse. So each time if I apply a clock pulse, the data will jump from one flip-flop to the other flip-flop. So this is the initial value. Initially I have 0, 0, 0 output in all the flip-flops. So for the first flip-flop, I'm applying 1. Okay. In the first clock pulse, I'm applying 1. In the second clock pulse, this one has jumped here. And this is my new input. And in third clock pulse, this one is jumping here and this one is coming here. And in the fourth clock pulse, what happens? This one jumped here and this one has come out here. And this is my new input. These are my new inputs. Yes. So similarly, on the fourth clock pulse, what you applied in the first, so that will come out. So if you take the data out serially, this will be your output. So 0, 0, 0, all zeros and then 1. So in the fifth clock pulse, you will get this one out. In the sixth clock pulse, you will get these 0 out. In the seventh clock pulse, you will get again this one out. So this is how the shift register serial in, serial out works. So my data only I am applying. Initially it was 0. I am applying 1 and again I am making to 0 here. So in the first clock pulse, the one is coming out of the first flip-flop. The second clock pulse, the one has jumped to the second flip-flop. In third clock pulse, the same one jumped again to the third flip-flop. And in the fourth clock pulse, the one is again jumped to the fourth flip-flop. So if I take the serial output here, I'll get 0, 0, 0, 1. So serial in, parallel out. See here in the old one, I have taken output only in the last flip-flop. But in this serial in, parallel out, I'm taking parallelly. On all the flip-flops, I'm taking the output. So on the first flip-flop, I'll get 1 here. Second flip-flop, I'll get 1 here. Third flip-flop, the one will come here. Fourth flip-flop, the one will come here. So this is how it works. Yes. So the one is keep on shifting, but now this is my parallel output. This is my parallel output on third clock pulse. This is my parallel output on the first clock pulse. Yes, I'll get 4 different outputs. Yes, this is the same waveform, but here this is your parallel output. This is your parallel output. Serial in, parallel out. So this is as easy compared to the previous two methods of shift register, parallel in, parallel out. So for example, I connect 1 0 1 0 here. On the application of the first clock pulse, I'll get this 1 will come out here, this 0 will come out here, this 1 will come out here, and again this 0 will come out here. Yes, this is how you will receive your output. So on the application of the first clock pulse itself. See, this is my parallel input. 1 0 1 0. After first clock pulse, everything is coming out 1 0 1 0. Yes. Then the last one, parallel input, serial output. So what I'll do, this is my input. I'll apply input simultaneously. I'll apply input simultaneously. But this is my output. Output I'll get one by one. Output I'll get parallelly, one after the other. See, here the data are applied in parallel, but output is taken in a serial way. Yes, I have connected the clock, but there is a one more control button present here, and the control button is shift and hold. That is the control button. So if I apply 1, it will do shifting. If I give load, if I give if I give 0, if I apply 0, no, so load will be 1. So at the time the data will be loaded into the flip-flop. Okay, I have one input. If the input is 0, the load will be 1. So the inputs applied in the parallel portion will come into the flip-flop here. Yes, if I give 1 here, the shift will be on, and it started to shift the data one after the other. So like how we have in the parallel adder, we have the control for adding the data and subtracting the data. And similarly, here also I have the control to allow the data inside. So there is a door. If you apply load as 0, then what you will get? The door will open and all the data can come inside. So once the data has come inside, now I'll make shift to 1. So if I make shift to 1, the data can shift from one flip-flop to the other flip-flop one by one. Yes, that is the logic. So the output will be 1 0 1 0. So this output we got. Just we will see how it is coming. So load or shift is my control input, and I have some gates here. Some of the gates, when this is 0, it makes load is on. So load is on. G2, G4, G6. These gates are on. Allows data parallel loading, and some of the gates are disabled. So we will see the logic diagram, then it will be more clear for you. So this is the logic diagram. See, the A input is given directly to the D flip-flop. All the clock is applied to the flip-flops, but in the input side there is some logic. Some logic is available in the input side. Yes. So if you apply 0 here, the 0 will be inverted and it will become 1 here. So if the 1 will be available in one input of the AND gate. So because of this AND gate, this AND gate, and this AND gate will be enabled. That is G2, G4, and then G6 will be enabled. So at the time, whatever I'll give in my input side will pass here. What I'll give here will pass here. What I give here will pass here. Got it? So this is parallel loading. Okay. If I make this as 1, this portion will become 0 and this portion will become 1. This portion will become 1. So this one makes this gate enable G1, G3 and then G5. These gate will be enabled. So when I give parallel loading, these gate will be enabled. When I give shifting, these gates will be enabled. See here, I have given 0 here. So I wanted to load the input data. If I give 0 here, I'll get 1 here. And this portion of AND gate is 1. This portion of AND gate is also 1. And this portion of AND gate is also 1 here. So this is my default input what I got from this 0. Then this is my actual input 0, 1 and then 0. And here also I apply 1. So what is my output? My output should come here as 0, 1, 0, 1. That should be my output. I should get at this point. So when I apply this, see the 1 and 0, what is the output of this gate? It is 0. 1 and 1, the output of this gate is 1 here. 1 and 0, it is 1 here. See, our input is 0, we got 0 here. Our input is 1, we got 1 here. Our input is 0, we got 0 here. So only these gates are enabled while parallel loading, and we loaded the data into the circuit. And now I change the input, control input to 1. So if it is changed to 1, this 1 will come here as 1 and this gate is enabled, this gate is enabled and this gate is enabled. So 1, and here also I applied 1, 1 and 1 output is 1. And here it is 0 and 1 output is 0. And here 1 and 1 output is 1. So this way, when you want to load the data, all these gates will go to loading, parallel loading. When you want to shift the data, all these gates will come into shifting of the input signal. So that is what is given here. G2, G4, G6 will be enabled, which allows parallel loading. And then G1, G3, G5 will be enabled, which allow to shift data from left to right, one by one. So if you apply 0 here, you will get 1 here. So all these gates will be enabled and it allow us to do parallel loading. In the same case, if you make 1 here, you will get 0 here. So all these gates will be disabled. All these gates will be disabled and all these gates will be enabled. If these gates are enabled, then it will do parallel shifting of data one by one. Yes. So first, initially what happened? This is made to 0 so that the load will be equal to 1. I am doing the parallel loading. And what is the output? The output I got here is on the output side of the last flip-flop 0, 1, 0, 1. Yes. So one by one, the bit started to shift inside serially, but all the bits are loaded parallelly. So this is one of the application of shift register. It is ring counter. So what we have here, the clock is applied to all the flip-flops as old, and then the input is again taken back. See, the output of the last flip-flop is connected again back to the input of the first flip-flop. So if I apply 1 here, the 1 will be keep on rounding. inside my counter. So that is the ring counter. See, I'm applying 1 here. So the 1 is keep on rounding 1 by 1. And second also I'll apply 1. And after the state, again the 1 comes here. The states will repeat 1 by 1. You have to feed the input only at one point. So that's all about the shift register, and you have one more topic in your syllabus. So that is the different displays. So here the point discussed is 7 segment display and as well as the BCD to decimal display. These two are discussed here. So this is the 7 segment display because we have the 7 different segments to control here. So in this we have 2 types, that is common cathode and then common anode. So common cathode is, see, all the cathodes are connected and it is given to the common cathode, that is ground point. And here all the anode are connected and it is given to the VCC points. All the anodes are connected and it is given to the VCC point. So it is common anode and each segment is having a name. So if you want to light this, this is A segment, B, C, D, E, F, G. So we have the 7 different segments here, and to light up these segments, the point, the terminal out is given here, A, B, C, D, E, F. So using that I can connect my drivers here. So 7 segment display decoder. So I have the inputs here A, B, C, D. So A, B, C, D can change like 0, 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1, 1. Like how you do in 8421 code you will do na 8421 code we discussed, so the same way it will change from all zeros to all 1 here. And that BCD data is converted to 7 segment decoder. So if I want to display 0, what are all the segments I have to enable? I have to enable A, B, C, D, E and then F. So these segments I have to apply 1. Okay. If I want to enable 3, what are all the segments I should enable? A, B, G, C and then D. These are the segments I should enable. So what this decoder will do, whatever input you applied like this will be converted for understanding of the segments, 7 segments. So this is common anode. I have connected the VCCs to plus 5 volt, and which is the IC here? 7447 is the IC used to change all your inputs, BCD inputs. BCD input is 000 to 111. These are the BCD inputs. So those type of inputs you can convert that to the 7 segment model. So if I apply 0, 0, 0, 1, so what it will display? It has to display 1. It has to enable B and C so that it will display the 1 output. See, my input is, what is my input? My input is all zeros, so that everything is 0 here. And which one is here? This is the common anode. This is the common anode part. So what I'll do? So 0, 0, 0, 1. And what is it? Corresponding, this one, corresponding segment displays. So that is shown here for 8. What is the segment to be displayed for 8? Yes, we will discuss in this. It is more clear. So it is all zeros here. So all 0 means what and all I have to make? Only this G is 0. Only this G is 0. All others I have to make it as 1. All the segments I should make it as 1. When input is only 1, I have to make B and C as 1. So which is B and C? These two are B and C. All others are 0 here. If it is 2, what and all to be 1? That is A, B, and then D, E, and then G. G also should be 1. So according to this, you can recall. So similarly, if you want 8 to be displayed, see all the segments are 1 here. If you want 8 to be displayed, all the segments are 1 here. This is for the common cathode pattern. The previous one is for the common anode pattern. See here, the anode is connected to VCC, but here the cathode is connected to the ground. See, the last one is BCD to decimal decoder. So if I apply the BCD datas will change from 0, 0, 0, 0 to 10. Only 10 different datas you can have in BCD. That's why we have only 9 combinations. That is 0, 0, 0 to 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. You can have up to 1, 0, 0, 1 here in the BCD. So if my input data is all 0, this lamp will glow. If I input data is only this one, then this lamp will glow. So it will be like that. So IC7445 is a BCD to decimal decoder. What BCD input I apply here, I'll get output accordingly. If I apply like 0, 0, 1, 1, so which lamp should go? Lamp number 3 should glow here. See, all the 4 inputs are 0 here. Which lamp is glowing? D0 is glowing. This is equal to 7. Which lamp is glowing? D7 is glowing. This is equal to 8. Isn't it? So which lamp is glowing? D8 is glowing. So this is BCD to decimal decoder. So this is a short recap of what and all things we have discussed and what are all its IC numbers. Seven four seven four is a D flip-flop. 7476 is having a 2 JK flip-flop. And 7490 it's a decade counter. So counter which will count from 0 to up to 10 value. 10 different values the counter will count. And this is the synchronous counter 93 is. And 7494 is a shift register IC. And then 161 is a synchronous 4-bit binary counter. So I have also planned to conduct sessions on designing of simulation of the digital circuits using software. So in next week I'll plan that. So if possible, we will try to do the simulation of the circuits what we discussed in the 6 different sessions. Okay. So this is a short recap of what and all we have discussed from the first session to the last session. So it's like in digital circuit, we discussed half adder, full adder, parallel adder, magnitude comparator, encoder, decoder, max, demax, and 7-segment display is also falling on combinational circuits only. And then in sequential circuit, latch, gated latch, flip-flop, SRJKTD, master slave, and then application of flip-flop, we can use that for register and counter. So those 2 applications we discussed as a counter and as well as the shift register and different types of shift register. Yes. Any questions related to the topic we discussed? You can post it in the chat window. Any queries related to the thing?
Ma'am, I'm just checking actually.
Okay.
Doesn't look like we have any.
So everyone wants the class only in English. Hindi.
Hindi, ma'am.
Hindi. Okay, difference between synchronous and asynchronous counter is, so one question has come, what is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous counter? So we know that asynchronous counter, we will apply clock only for the first flip-flop. In synchronous, we will apply clock for all the flip-flop. All flip-flop is synchronized. See, in army, military and all, they'll give the parade, no? They'll do the parade for Republic Day and Independence Day. So every person will be synchronized. Everyone will do at the same time. That is synchronized. But if you see some reality shows and all the dance they'll do, no? So each person will be doing in their own style. That is not synchronized. That is asynchronized. D flip-flop and T flip-flop is not same. D flip-flop is data flip-flop. D flip-flop, what I apply, I'll get in output. If I apply 1, I'll get 0. Sorry, if I apply 1, I'll get 1 in the output. If I apply 0, I'll get 0 in the output. T flip-flop is toggle flip-flop. So if I apply 1, if my previous input is 1, output goes to 0. If my previous output is 0, output goes to 1. Toggle means toggle. It will change the state all time. 1, 0, 1, 0 like that. It will change all time. That is toggle flip-flop. T flip-flop we will design using JK flip-flop. D flip-flop we will design using SR flip-flop. That is delay and toggle flip-flop. Ma'am,
Question, which FF is best in shift register?
sorry, Parul.
Which FF is best in shift register?
Obviously, shift register means I want to shift. See, for example, if you want to shift the parcel from one place to another place, in construction site and all, you might have seen people are shifting the cement mix from one person to the other person, and finally it will reach the roof. So it is also like that. I am going to shift my data from one flip-flop to other flip-flop. If my data is 1, I should shift 1 from one flip-flop to other flip-flop. If my data is 0, I want to shift 0 to one flip-flop to other flip-flop. So obviously, which flip-flop will give me the same output for the same input? The answer is D flip-flop. So D flip-flop is best flip-flop. D flip-flop is a flip-flop you can use for shift register. In counter, what we can count? We can count number of clock pulse. Counter is used to count number of clock pulse. See, I want to fill a gems packet. In a gems packet, I want to fill 10 gems. So I'll put a counter. Once the counter reaches the count 10, then I'll stop filling my packet. That is the work of counter. SISO is serial input, serial output, one by one, one after the other, like a railway station queue. How to find a clock? How to find a clock in counter is, so clock is nothing but a square wave pulse. You can generate that clock with the help of a topic we also discussed, like timer, IC 555 timer. Using that timer, I can generate a clock of square wave signals. 7 segment. What is 7 segment? Seven segment display is that this one. So this is 7 segment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the 7 segments. So which segment you want to light? If you want to make 1 in the output, light B and C, so that you will get 1 in the output. So that is the 7 segment.